Hey everyone, welcome back to Whippy Studio, and Happy New Year! We're officially in the season of 2024, and this is so exciting. I'm really looking forward to this year, and hopefully, to bring my YouTube channel back to light a little bit. I know 2023 was not a great year for the channel, that's for sure. I'm hoping to do better this year. I'm hoping to do one video a week, and then my yearbook show which will always be on Saturdays, but I'm hoping every Wednesday to have some sort of video. Today I'm going to be talking about the TV shows that I watched in 2023. To be honest with you, I didn't watch many movies last year, which was interesting. I just watched a lot of TV, that's for sure. So let's start out. We have a lot to get through. I'm going to try to make this quick as possible. It might end up being a two-parter. We'll see. So first off, The Chosen Season 3. To be honest, I love The Chosen so much. Season 3 was probably my favorite season yet. I loved the episode 3, which was where he visited his hometown, and we got the flashbacks to him and Joseph. I absolutely love that with Jesus and Joseph. I like episode 5 a lot, where we got the healing of Jairus' daughter and the him healing the bleeding woman. I love that. I also liked episode, or not even an episode, it was the whole Simon and Eden storyline that I thought was really well done. I liked the development of Gaius, and of course I loved how the season ended. I'm really looking forward to season 4, which is coming out on February 1st, and I hope to do reviews on that. We'll see. I know they're splitting it up kind of weirdly, like they're doing 3 episodes in theaters at a time. I don't know what I'll be able to do. I'll try my best to review that in February. I already have all my content scheduled for January, but February will definitely be like a chosen month. Okay. Never Have I Ever Season 4. I'm not really going to go into that because I actually reviewed that on the channel, but it was a good season to end off the show. Probably my favorite one out of the 4. I feel like it balanced all the characters out really well. And I'm glad I liked how it ended with Davy and Ben getting together. Even though I was Team Paxton, I thought they did a good job with that. So yeah, if you want to hear more about my thoughts, I suggest go back and watch those reviews. Okay, next up we have Riverdale Season 7. Now, if you know me, you know I am a fan of Riverdale, for the most part. I definitely question a lot of stuff that happens. I've been disappointed a lot in that show, but I stuck through it, and I pretty much, I think Season 7 was one of my favorites, and I know a lot of people would disagree with me. I think going back to the 50s was really good for the show. For most of the season, it felt like an Archie Comics show. And I think they did a great job with dealing with the issues from that time period. Was some racism thrown in there. And I like the Crucible tie-in, which is really interesting because we read that in English class this past semester. So I got to hear the exact speech Archie did in front of the whole class, and then I got to hear John Proctor do that on the movie. I thought that was really cool parallel, and I think that was a great tie-in. I like the teen, just like the teen standing up for justice, and the relationship stuff was probably the weakest part when they were jumping from partner to partner. I didn't really like the ending and with the couples. I'm glad Cheryl and Tony got their happy ending, but I'm not a big fan with how they wrote all the other couples and how some people didn't even end up with anyone. I didn't like that all that much, and I also didn't like how underused Tabitha was. That was a disappointment to me. Especially after season 6, they focused on her character so much, and then fast forward to season 7, she's barely in it at all. So that was kind of disappointing. Sorry, just water drink. Okay. But overall, I think it was a pretty good season for the final season. They did a good job with it, in my opinion. Okay, High School Musical, the series, season 4, and I thought this was a great season, and it wasn't my favorite. Season 1 will always be my favorite of the show. Season 4 I thought was really good, and I think my personal favorite of the 3 movies is High School Musical 3. And it's hard to explain, but I love all of the songs from that movie. And Troy and Gabriella, in my opinion, are at their peak in the third movie, and I love that. Um, it and yeah, and I just love that. So I like all the High School Musical songs, and I loved all the originals too. There are some really good originals in season 4. Like Dreams Don't Die was really good. Um, and Love You Forever by Ricky in the finale, that was really good. There were some good originals, that's for sure. Speak Out, Ricky and EJ, again, good songs. I wish there were more than 8 episodes. It did feel like they could have explored some things more, like Courtney and Jed and Miss Jen's job offer. And wasn't a big fan of the Carlos and Seb cheating plot. And I wanted more of the OGs. I thought that was kind of weird that they barely had them in the season, except for Miss Darbus. But yeah, it was a great season, and I love that show so much. It will go down as one of my favorites. Just the characters, most of them are so likable. They deal with the relationship stuff pretty well, actually pretty mature for a teen show. Great actors, and you gotta love the music. There's great music, great singers. It's just a really great show. I highly recommend you go check it out on Disney Plus. Um, okay, Ahsoka. So I didn't watch Mando season 3. I tried, but I couldn't really get into it. It wasn't that good. Ahsoka I liked for the most part. It wasn't great. It had a very slow start. Episodes 4 through 7 were like great. Like I thought those were like a masterpiece. Thrawn's entrance was awesome. Ahsoka's flashbacks or dream sequences with Anakin in episode 5 were awesome. Hera, the Green Lady, was awesome. The relationship between Ahsoka and Sabine was awesome. The reunion between Sabine and Ezra was awesome. It was all really good. The only in Balin and Shin, they were like some of the best additions I've ever seen to a Star Wars show. I loved that. I just didn't really like how it ended, season 1, and how we still haven't heard anything about a season 2. That's what annoys me the most, because Balin and Shin were the most interesting characters, yet they were barely in the finale, so that was disappointing. Um, but I thought Ahsoka really grew up in the show too, and I liked that. She was pretty solid all the way through, but it was just such a good show, and I liked the Huang, the robot. He was hilarious. I loved that it came out on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. I thought that was really cool because I stayed up with my brother to watch it, and it wasn't too late because I usually don't go to bed till at least 10 to 10:30. So I had the show done before 10, so it was perfect, and then I could go to bed thinking about it, rather than like seeing spoilers online the next day when I'm at school. I think that's one of the best decisions they made is releasing the shows at 9 p.m. I'm really glad that they did that. Okay. I haven't watched Loki season 2. I did not watch Secret Invasion, and I have not watched What If season 2. So I probably will not watch those shows. I don't have much interest. I don't have much interest in anything Marvel, to be honest. And me and my dad and my brother we're all on the same page. The only stuff we really like from Marvel is Guardians of the Galaxy and Spider-Man. There's a few occasional good movies, but overall they've just really gone downhill in my opinion. Deep breath. Okay, we're about halfway through to the shows I've watched. Okay, so The Samurai Turned Pretty. I watched the first 2 seasons back to back because they are both out. And I love this show. It's one of my new favorites. I love the beach vibes. The characters are like so likable to me. They're so realistic. I think the love triangle. I'm personally Team Jeremiah. I keep going back and forth, but right now I feel like I don't know. It's hard to explain. I think they there's too Billy and Conrad's relationship just seems way too mature for me, and they've been so back and forth, and that those two, especially Belly and Conrad, it's just so messy between them. And what I like about Belly and Jer is that things are a bit more fun and it's a bit more realistic of a teenage relationship. So that's kind of why I'm there, but I don't hate Conrad by any means, and I think there's good chemistry between both Billy and Conrad and Billy and Jer. But the relationship I like the most was Steven and Taylor. In fact, I was rooting for them more than I was for Billy with either guy. I thought the slow progression of Steven catching feelings for Taylor while she was with Milo, and then they finally got together, but then Taylor was hesitant because of how he hurt her before, in season one with the whole Shayla thing, and then they got together at the end. I love that. I thought they deal with the Susanna death thing really well, for all things considered. They did a good job with that. And Laurel, I'm not a big fan of her character. She's okay. I like Susanna a lot more. I thought she was a better mom. But I think Laurel, it has developed a little bit at the end of season 2. And you can tell. And I like when she was hesitant about whether to let her grief be known and how she was dealing with that. Let her grief be known to her kids, because she didn't want them to view her as weak, but really they needed to know that she was grieving too. And I thought that whole thing was really good. I'm looking forward to season 3 and seeing what happens. I've read the books, so I know how things end. I'm not going to spoil it on here. If you want to read the books, go read them. So, yeah, okay. So, My Life with the Walter Boys is a pretty similar show to The Summer I Turned Pretty. It's a love triangle between a girl and 2 boys. I don't like My Life with the Walter Boys as much. I don't hate it. It's kind of cringe. There's a lot of cringy stuff to it. I prefer Cole a little bit over Alex, but personally, I don't think either of them are great options for her. I'm not really rooting for either of them. I mean, Cole is a jerk most all the time. I mean, I think he's hotter than Alex. Alex is a nicer guy, but I don't see much chemistry between him and Jackie, and they feel more like brother and sister, which I know it kind of sounds a bit weird, but and I didn't like how he treated Cole when he punched him and at the bonfire, and I don't know. And I especially didn't like at the end when he told Kyla that you're practically a dude. I did not like that. But I'm looking forward to season 2 nonetheless. I liked Erin a lot, and I'll talk about Heartland in a second. The actress who plays Georgie is in My Life with the Walter Boys, and I think that's really cool. She does a great job in both shows. I loved her in My Life with the Walter Boys. She kind of played a mean girl turned good, and I thought she did a great job with it. And I'm really looking forward to the relationship between her and Danny, which they're clearly setting up. That's going to be really cool. So Heartland, I enjoyed the season of Heartland. I was upset there were only 10 episodes, but I liked that they are seemingly, they're finally like turning a page. They're setting Amy up with a new guy, Nathan, which the sparks are there, and I really like that. Lou is involved in the business, which I think she should have been all along. I don't know why she wasn't. And Katie got a great storyline with the dirt bike. Lisa got a great storyline with her ex-husband dying, and I like Jack being there to help her. Tim and Shane, I love that storyline. And then Shane asking Tim to be like his best man, that broke me. The development there was awesome. And yeah, overall, it was a good season. I wish there were more than 10 episodes, but I'm really looking forward to the future of Heartland. I don't have really any complaints, except the only thing I didn't like was the Amy and Caleb kiss, because it was awkward, and they just don't have much chemistry as more than friends, and I think most people would agree with me on that. So, out of all of these shows, my favorite one was probably... it's really hard to decide, guys, because I like them all for different reasons. The Chosen was probably my favorite, but if we're talking about like a teenage drama, which The Chosen is not, probably The Summer I Turned Pretty. And I like the simple vibe of that show too. My least favorite was probably My Life with the Walter Boys, but these shows are all good. Even with the strikes, we got some good shows in the year of 2023. So comment down below, out of all the shows you watched, which one was your favorite? Which one was your least favorite? If there's any shows you want me to check out, comment them down below too. So thanks everyone for watching Boo Studio, and bye everyone.